when you think about the strategies that companies can use, right? One strategy is more near sourcing. Maybe that means more local supply chains. Deals like the Canadian Pacific Railroad with Kansas City Southern, which reflects kind of the first true Canada, U.S., Mexico railroad. So maybe China's loss becomes NAFTA's gain. Maybe 3D printing. What other strategies do you think shippers can or should be thinking about in this new era?
Well, I'll start. I think the opportunities are so great. There are so many of them, and they're so voluminous that the question is potentially dangerous to the independent shippers, right? Because they feel like they have to do everything. And so I think the answer is to just start small. Look in the warehouse. Do you have metrics, right? How are you, or do you actually know what your average cost per parcel is if if you're distributing a consistent or homogeneous parcel type or per product or whatever? Like, just look at the very simple things and just build one thing at a time. Don't try to boil the ocean. I don't think we have to outsmart or be able to see the future. I think we just have to look at what is within our grasp today and make sure we're taking advantage of it. I think a lot of times we try to do too much and we miss the building blocks that are foundational.
Absolutely.
I'm going to double down on what Jeremy said. Most business is done in what I talk about as blocking and tackling. It's not about throwing the ball 60 yards down the field. It's about blocking and tackling. And he's spot on that. The principles that would have averted this disaster are the same principles that we all already know. Plan an alternate vendor or a series of them and keep them in play. Don't shut them down because your local rep told you that he'll save you an extra 1%. And the reality is that's part of the problem. People focusing on that extra 1% of margin shut down their alternate paths. They shut down their protective devices and then got themselves in big trouble. The people we found who survived this very well are people who focus on playing long games instead of playing short games. They're not looking for a quick buck. They're looking to do it the right way and be consistent over a long period of time. We're finding a lot of those guys have come out very well, and they kept the customers instead of losing them, like Jeremy was talking about. They kept those customers in play. They acquired new customers in the post Shipageddon churn that inevitably happened, and now they're growing into new heights. So I think that's crucial, is do the simple things that you already know are the right plays, but talk to your shareholders, talk to your board and say, hey, look, we know this is the right play. I know we could save an extra %, but that is not going to work for tomorrow. We've got to be ready for tomorrow.
Great point. Jim, what about you? What differences in strategy do you anticipate going forward?
I think you're going to have to be, nimble is a word that comes to mind for me. But once again, if you might give all your every day, it's pretty easy. You fill orders, and UPS, FedEx, and the Postal Service take it away. I think you need to have other strategies come November, and I would be looking for some trucking companies. You can do some zone skipping. You can bypass some of those gridlocks. I mean, the Postal Service had problems, and we were talking before the call. Philly was bad, and Cleveland was bad. Ohio in general was tough. Memphis was challenging. But, if you were in those markets, you could have put stuff on the road and went to Dallas directly, and bought some LTL space or even truckload if it's available. But, honestly, it's a tough time of year to get truckload, but, maybe not LTL, right? So, but I would that's diversify. I would think there, communicate, listen to your carriers, talk to them every day. Make them tell you what's going on, where their problems are, and let's try to get around some of those. But if you think you can just sit there and hand over thousands of packages and everything is going to be, wonderful, I don't think you're going to be successful. I think you're going to have to really be very proactive this peak period, and peak period is now. So it's great. It's no longer Black Friday and it starts now.